Coors Light pole winner for tomorrow's 29th annual Cheez-It 355 at the Glen is Jeff Gordon, and he drives the number 24 Drive to End Hunger Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports. And this is Jeff's 75th career pole in NASCAR. That's another big number for you. I know you got your 90th win here a couple weeks ago. Your first pole in 2014, your third pole here at Watkins Glen International, and certainly you expressed a lot of enthusiasm out there after you got that pole.
Well, you forgot to mention when the last time I won a pole here.
I'm not sure if I have that off the top of my head.
Edwards?
2003?
Only 11 years ago.
It's been over a decade, Jeff. So
that's why the enthusiasm was
I understand. But, no, congratulations. Certainly this is a track that you've had success at. Maybe not recently, but you've had success at, and it looks like that this weekend this 24 team is ready to roll.
Yeah, we are. I'm super excited. You know, I think the type of year that we're having certainly has given all of us confidence in what we're doing in our race cars, and you know, I think Watkins Glen's kind of been a target, you know, on our radar because we've run so poorly here recently, and you start to lose confidence in what you're doing. Your team loses confidence, you know, in their car, and you get off track and lost a little bit, and that's the way it's been for us the last few times we've been here, last several times, and with the type of race cars we've been bringing to the racetrack this year, we had hoped with all the effort put into it that it would pay off for us here. And we were fast in race practice yesterday, but I'll be honest, we went into qualifying trim and it didn't go very well, and we're pretty concerned, you know, and then we made a few changes, you know, overnight, but didn't know what to expect. And the first lap was, I felt like I got through certain parts of the corner really good, but I also got blocked by a car coming back to the checkered, and so, you know, we almost got knocked out of that first run, the first session, and then we went back out and put a really good lap together, and I think right then that changed our whole qualifying session. Once I knew I could run that lap, then you know, that confidence came back, and I was just able to really go attack the racetrack. And that last lap, I have no idea where that came from. I'll be honest. I did not think it was that good of a lap. I knew it was a good lap. I didn't think it was that good.
Take questions now for Jeff Gordon. We'll start here with Reed, and then we'll go to Dean, and then to Kyle.
Reed Spencer with NASCAR Wire Service. I think Marcos was surprised when he saw that you put up that lap. Was it a conscious part of your team's strategy to go out as late as you did so that he wouldn't have enough time to come back for one?
No, we had to make two runs in the first session. So when you make that second run, and there was only a few minutes left in that session, we just had to cool everything down, you know, and so basically it was about just cooling there were two factors into when we went: cooling everything down, tires and the engine, the water, and then getting a clean lap. And it just happened to work out that when we were done cooling, that it was a great time to go. There were no cars on the track. There was two cars in front of me that rolled off, and everybody that was on the track had just finished their lap. And so there's a cool down period, and there's a lot of guys rolling around slow. So you really want to get them far around the racetrack before you go take off, so you're not weaving in and out of cars. And that's kind of the way it worked out for us. You know, and it was just a solid lap.
Let's go to Dean, and then we'll go to Kyle.
I'll be honest, I was real surprised at the lap he laid in the first session, so you can only imagine how surprised I was when I saw the lap time that I had put up there.
Yeah, Dean McNulty, Toronto Sun. 1999, Jeff started on the pole, won the race. Is there anything at all from that era that you can bring forward to this new car on Sunday?
Well, the track hasn't changed that much over the years. But the cars and the competition have, and you know, as I mentioned earlier, we haven't been bad in the race. You know, once we've gotten into the race, we've been pretty solid with our speed and how competitive we are, but we've been starting so far back that we haven't been able to show that. So, you know, to be able to, our real main goal this weekend was to try to qualify up in the top 10 or 12, because we've been further back than that. To have a shot being in the top 5 was a plus, and you know, after being fourth that first session, and so we were just trying to kind of back that up. But to be on the pole, you know, one thing I know over the years is a good starting position, a good pit stall, and as important as track position is these days, that was huge. It's going to be hard. You know, there's some very aggressive drivers that are right behind us and beside me, and they're going to be super aggressive. And, you know, that's, you know, I was aggressive there qualifying. I'm going to be aggressive tomorrow, and, you know, we're here to win. So, you know, the only thing I can take from back in those days is just, you know, the things that we've done to win, which is, you know, get the car dialed in best you can and go make consistent laps, keeping everything on track, not making mistakes.
Let's go to Kyle.
Jeff.
Whoa. Thank you. Sorry.
Third time's a charm, just like me qualifying today.
Go ahead.
You good now?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
All right, Jeff. Kyle Magda, Speedway Digest. How close do you think that you have been on the verge of winning a road course race since your last one in 2006?
Here, not very close. Sonoma, we've been close. The last time we were, I think, close was the time I spun out going into one in front of Tony. You know, wheel hopped getting in there and lost that race. I mean, I don't know if we're going to win it. Regardless, Tony was running me down and faster than us that day, but it doesn't matter because I was going the wrong direction in turn one. It's been a while since we've really been in contention to win here, but I feel like every year at Sonoma we've been pretty close.
Yeah, and just to follow up to what you said about the qualifying, I mean, what are your thoughts about the knockout qualifying at the road courses?
I love it. I mean, today, really honestly, I needed 3 shots at it. So in the past, I feel like just like that first run that we made, that's kind of the laps that I've done here in the past when we only had 1 lap. And there's a very fine line here between being too conservative and being too aggressive. And you know, in order to make a good lap on a road course, you got to find those perfect brake marks. And to carry the right speed through the corners, and then obviously the car's got to work well too. But there's so many marks that you have to hit to get it all right. And when you have this big of a track, that many corners, all it takes is one little mistake, and it you know, ruins your whole lap. So to me today, to be able to do, I from a fan standpoint and how people were able to follow it, I couldn't tell you because, you know, I'm only in there watching it on the lap times. But when I'm looking at the timer, I thought, you know, it was amazing how many guys got knocked out kind of in that first session where guys kept going faster. So I thought that was very entertaining, and we were a part of that and jumped up there. But from a driver's standpoint, it was a huge benefit to me to go get 3 shots at it. Each time I was able to increase our speed, which was huge.
Other questions for Jeff? Let's go over here to Joe.
Joe Mink, Star Gazette. Jeff, what is the difference now this year as in years past? The past few years, like Marcos and Kyle, they've been the favorites, and you know, you've always been a respected competitor, but not necessarily looked upon as a favorite. Now here you are back. You know, it's almost like you know, going back in time. What's different this year as compared maybe to the recent years?
Sure.
Past?
No, and you're right. And I still wouldn't consider ourselves a favorite for tomorrow, but I think we've now put our name in the mix anyway. The biggest difference is I think, you know, I mean, our race cars are definitely improved. I think you know, the area that Alan and our engineers and our engine builders, you know, all the areas that we work in, from chassis, setup, aerodynamics, horsepower, all those things have really paid off, and Hendrick's, got some amazing equipment this year, but especially with Alan and the 24 team, I just think that they've really attacked the right areas, and it's really been working well for me. It's given me that comfort and confidence to really just push the car harder and harder and harder, and know it's going to stay underneath me, and find the limit of the car and run it on that limit. And each time we go to a racetrack where we do that and get good results, it builds our confidence in all of us to what we're doing. And there's no doubt that coming in here this weekend, even though Watkins Glen hasn't been the best for us, we still came in here with confidence of what we've been carrying at the other tracks to come in here and run good, and it was pretty awesome to back that up. I can say that I mean, all weekend long, even we were running good, and then we didn't run good in our qualifying runs, and I could see the look on Alan's face of, man, what do we have to do? What are we missing? And today, to go out and get that pole, the way that he looks at me and believes in me, just went to another level, and that's pretty awesome. It's hard to get that.
Let's go ahead, sir, right there.
Jeff, how physically demanding is this track compared to an oval, and how is your back going to hold up to it?
Yeah, I don't seem to have too many issues with my back here. I think it has to do with turning right. My back needs to turn right every once in a while. But it's very physically demanding. You're working really hard with the wheel, with the shifting. I feel it in my elbow, my shoulder. When this race is over, it's probably the only race we have all year where you have to actually ice your shoulder and your elbow down just from all the demand, and how physically aggressive you have to be with shifting and not miss a shift here. But I feel fit, I feel good, and I'm ready for the challenge.
Let's go to Dustin. I think over here to Jeff Gluck, and then to Stan. Go ahead.
Dustin Long, MRN.com. A couple things, Jeff. I know you talked about Leo's birthday. Is your family here? Is he here today? And second of all, just looking at tomorrow in terms of, we've seen so much different strategy the last couple races. I know it's kind of been run like a road course situation. You guys were strong at Pocono. Strategy didn't go your way. How do you factor in with strategy and talking with Alan about that?
No, it is Leo's birthday today. I spoke to him on the phone. They're not here this week, and they're in New York, but not here in Watkins Glen. And they'll be here tomorrow. But it was pretty cool to wish him a happy birthday this morning. Right as I was getting off, I said, "All right, I'm going to try to go get you that pole." I wasn't real confident in that statement, but I said it anyway. And now I really can't wait to talk to him. I can't wait to get to my phone, and I know it's going to be lit up from Ingrid and the kids, so that's pretty cool. I'll be honest, I haven't even talked about the strategy and the plan for this week. I know Alan and those guys came in here with a plan. We did a debrief this week, but we didn't get in. We were really more talking about performance and qualifying more than anything else. But they have a plan, and I look forward to hearing what it is. But I'm pretty sure it's going to be about running the strategy like a road course, since we're at a road course.
Yeah. Let's go over here to Jeff and then to Stan, and we'll finish, I think, with Reed.
Jeff Gluck from USA Today. I'm over here. I was going to ask about Leo also, but I guess the last time you were winning poles here, winning races here, you didn't have a kid to talk to on the phone and say, "Hey, I'm going to do this for you today." How does it change things to, have that in the back of your mind and have something where your kids can enjoy in this and your family can celebrate in what you're doing?
Well, it works both ways. When your kids come to the racetrack and you don't perform very well, and they say, "What happened?" Well, how come you didn't win the race? And Jimmy Johnson won the race. Evie's dad won the race. Those kinds of things. You smile and laugh about it on one hand, but you can't help but take that personal. And so on the flip side is when you're able to win the race, and they get to see that excitement and be a part of it, and you know, that bond that you have with your family and the ups and the downs you go through when you get to experience that moment. There's just nothing better. So that's why, you know, this year has just been phenomenal. I mean, this has just been one of the best years I've ever had, because how good things are, you know, at home, and how good things are at the racetrack, and just life is good, and I'm enjoying the heck out of it, and you know, I don't know how many more years I have, you know, racing in this series, and certainly to be this late in my career and be this competitive. It's something I didn't know whether it would happen, but the timing couldn't be better, because Ella appreciates and understands it at 7, and Leo's just kind of starting to, and that's just one. And even Ingrid, you know, even Ingrid's never really experienced the type of success that we're having this year. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Stan, and then finish up with Reed. Go ahead, Stan.
Stan Creekmore with RPMtonight.com. Jeff, I can remember a time when NASCAR made a change to the COT car and everything, where the communication between you and the car just seemed to go away, and that affected your career. Is this Gen 6 car, is this a situation where you're just communicating far better with what you're feeling in the car, and that's helping to add to your success?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I wasn't a fan of the COT the first time I drove it, and I wasn't a fan of it the last time I drove it. So I was certainly pretty happy to see a change in the direction that they went in, where it became a real race car again. You know, this car drives well, you know, does the things that you want it to do, and looks good doing it. So, yeah, I'm a fan, definitely, and I'm a fan of the lower ride heights too. And I think it's a combination of what it's doing, you know, the feedback that the car is giving me, and the way that I drive. You know, when a car sticks and does the things you want it to do, it's a little more forgiving on some of your weaknesses, but it's also can enhance some of the strong suits that you have, and that's just what I'm seeing and feeling. But I think a lot of credit goes to the team too. I mean, there's plenty of guys out there that have the same ride heights and spoiler and you know, cars that we have, but I think our cars are really, really superior right now, you know, to a lot of the teams out there.
Final question, Reed.
Reed Spencer with NASCAR Wire Service. Jeff, when NASCAR announced the knockout qualifying system this year, conventional wisdom was that you guys would slow down because of tire fall off from one round to the next. That really hasn't been the case. You today and several other occasions. Why is that?
That is a great question. I have no idea. I honestly thought, especially even today, I thought for sure that we would drop off. Pocono last week, same thing. I mean, it's really incredible to see the lap times get better, and I think that just is a credit to the teams and to the drivers of, you know, when you make a lap, you're always making slight little mistakes, or whether you're underdriving it or overdriving it or turning in too late or too early. And so when you get a second chance at it, you have that in your memory of, okay, the last time I went through here, you know, I needed to do something different, and you apply that, and it works. So I think at a lot of these tracks now, you know, Richmond, I don't necessarily know if that would be the case at, you know, Richmond. I mean, there's just certain tracks where it is going to fall off, but you know, I've been amazed at how we've been able to do that, and I think that's the key to keeping it exciting, because if you went out and you only had one lap on your tires that was worth anything, then you're never going to see guys go back out in advance and knock people out, and that to me is what makes it so exciting. So I was one that was really pushing NASCAR to give us another set of tires, because I thought we were going to need that set of tires, and how we manage the second set of tires to really keep it exciting and interesting. And there still might be a couple of tracks where that's needed, but yeah, I've been shocked by the same thing.
Well, Jeff, certainly congratulations on a great performance. You're having a great season, and we just look forward to the rest of it, beginning with tomorrow.
Thank you, Kerry.
Thank you.